Here's the reading of pages 131 to 134. The cities of the Indus Valley. Picture this: seated cross-legged, arms and hands outstretched to touch his knees, a strong man closes his eyes in meditation. A tiger, rhinoceros, water buffalo, elephant, and other animals look on. Now the scene changes. Incense swirls in a cloud about a single horned beast. Change again. A man offers gifts to a tiger. These unusual scenes, carved in soapstone squares in about 2500 BC, are part of the mystery of the Indus Valley civilization. Who was the seated man, like right here? A god or a priest? What does the animal in a cloud of incense mean? Were tigers sacred? The answers to these questions remain a mystery to this very day. Here's what we do know. A thoughtful people planned and lived in Mohenjo-daro and the other Indus cities. Archaeologists have dug deep in these ancient sites and found that their broad main streets were straight and regular, forming nearly perfect grids. These neatly planned city blocks ran north and south, east and west. Narrow side streets wound between them, lined with solidly built brick houses of 2 stories or more. Standardized systems of weights and other measures existed in the cities, including quite uniform brick sizes. Some of the early city dwellers enjoyed indoor baths. The residents of the Indus cities even had toilets connected by a system of drains and water chutes running beneath the streets, an amazing achievement in the urban planning for 2500 BC. While the people of Sumer invented the wheel and the people of Egypt gave us the sail, it seems that the people of the Indus were the first to have indoor plumbing. Rising above the heart of Mohenjo-daro was a large circular mound topped by a 5-story building. This was perhaps the center of government or religion. It boasted a granary for surplus wheat and barley, an assembly hall, and a large public bath, 39 feet long, 23 feet wide, and 8 feet deep. Was this enormous brick-lined bath used for religious or social purposes? Did people bathe there to purify themselves or to meet and discuss politics or business? Did cross-legged holy men or merchants sit here? Scholars still speculate about the possible uses for these impressive works. In the ruins of the Indus Valley cities, archaeologists are still unearthing clues that provide hints about this early people. They found small terracotta statues showing how people dressed and perhaps what their gods looked like. They found tools, mirrors, pots, pans, and even children's toys. They've uncovered a tantalizing amount of jewelry. It's clear that craftsmen from the Indus cities used gold, silver, copper, gemstones, and ivory to fashion ornaments and jewelry. Indus Valley traders carried on business far and wide. They imported lapis lazuli, turquoise, and carnelian from lands to the west. They had the stones made into exquisite beads and ornaments, and then sent the finished jewelry onto Mesopotamia, Iran, and Central Asia. From ports on the Arabian Sea, Indus Valley merchants sailed through the Persian Gulf to Sumer, carrying cotton textiles, timber, ivory, gold, and chickens. Merchants probably owned these carved soapstone squares with the unusual scenes. They were stamp seals or signature seals about the size of today's postage stamps. Like the cylinder seals used in Sumer, these seals were designed to leave an imprint in wet clay. Each merchant or official probably had his own seal and may have used it to identify ownership of bales of cotton or bags of grain. Beautifully carved depictions adorn the seals. A bull pulling a cart, a rhinoceros or elephant standing proud. The seals attest to the abundance of animal life on the Indus. Zebu, garbed elephants, rhinoceros, antelopes, tigers, and buffalo abound. The thousands of surviving seals also bear some form of writing, but so far scholars have not figured out how to read it. As you know, archaeologists found keys to help them translate the cuneiform of Sumer and the hieroglyphs of Egypt, but they have not yet found a Rosetta Stone to serve as a key to the unique script of the Indus Valley civilization. Since we don't understand their writing, there is much we don't know about these people. We know they worship deities, but we don't know the names they gave their gods. We can tell the Indus Valley people were good at planning and had some government, but we can't identify their leaders and don't know how they were organized. We see that they love to depict the world about them, but we don't know any of their great poems or myths. The door to much of this past will probably remain closed until more samples of the script turn up and someone cracks the mystery of the Indus writing. And there's just some more pictures. And this looks like the bathhouse. Why did the Indus Valley civilization decline? The ruins of Mohenjo-Daro and other Indus cities hint at a great civilization that flourished for 700 or 800 years. Though these people didn't build giant ziggurats or imposing pyramids, their cities bustled with activity. But by about 1500 BC, their civilization had largely faded away and trade fell off. Why? It was partly because the Indus River and its tributaries changed course, causing huge floods and disrupting agriculture and the economy. Indus Valley residents may have deforested their land to plant more fields or to get firewood to bake vast numbers of bricks for building. Or perhaps irrigation gradually made the soil salty and unfit for agriculture, as in ancient Sumer. Or did disease bring about the ancient civilization's demise? In Mohenjo-Daro, archaeologists found a few skeletons lying in the street, as though the last people there died with no one to bury them. All of these explanations are possibilities. The people of the Indus apparently abandoned their cities and began to live in simple villages. They also seem to have mixed with other peoples who were gradually migrating into their area from Central Asia. Many Indus Valley people probably moved to more fertile regions of the subcontinent. Sand and dirt blanketed the old citadels until no one recalled the enterprising people who had lived there. Even though they were forgotten, parts of their culture have lived on. The current languages of South India are probably related to the language originally spoken by the Indus people. The cross-legged holy man on the soapstone seal looks a lot like those who engage in the modern practice of yoga. Some of the gods on the seal seem to resemble deities worshipped today by people in that part of the world. But what was the connection? There is much we simply do not know. And investigating the Indus. About 200 years ago, British scholars heard reports of old artifacts buried in huge earth mounds near the Indus River. By 1921, Sir John Marshall, a British archaeologist, and his Indian colleague, R.D. Bonero, were digging into those mounds. They discovered the remains of an entire civilization that had been lost for thousands of years, the one we now call the Indus civilization. Since that time, archaeologists and historians have been poring over soapstone seals and other artifacts, trying to learn more about the Indus Valley people. Will we ever find a key to unlock the mystery of their writing? Will we ever know stories of the Indus Valley gods and leaders? Will we figure out exactly why a once great civilization declined? And that's the end of the reading of pages 131 to 134.